here. I want to give you some information that that I didn't come up with. Okay, I learned it from a millionaire, from a multi-millionaire, and now we've applied it, and it's working. It's working very, very well. And like if you paid attention to what it is that I said if you knew that you had to teach the information that I'm about to give you right now, you would learn it a whole lot differently. Does that make sense? You would learn it a whole lot differently because you knew you had to teach it. And that's how I want you to start learning from this point on in your life. I always want you to learn from the standpoint that you're going to have to teach the information. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you knew, guys, that's the only way we can legitimize change, is if you have actually learned something. Does that make sense, guys? This is very, very important that you do this. If you're not taking notes, I recommend that you take notes. Just imagine if I wrote down on this board the lottery numbers, okay? Imagine if I wrote them down and then I erased it right away. Would you want to commit it to memory, or would you want to have it written down so you can go cash your check? How many of you want to go cash your check and have the numbers already written down? Or you want to start thinking, oh, is it 5, is it 7? No. You want to know that you know that you know. And that's the information I'm about to give right now in this training, guys. So we're going to talk about the WIN formula. All right? Everybody say WIN formula.
WIN formula.
When you look at this word WIN, okay, how many of you want to win in life? Okay? Not just here in our yellow goal, but you want to win in life, right? And this formula right here, you can apply it to everything, but we're going to talk about how you apply it into this particular business. And after the WIN formula, I'm going to talk about the 30-day game plan in Organic Gold. I'm going to also talk about the 90-day game plan in Organic Gold. I'm going to talk about the 6-month game plan, because it does not take years for you to become wealthy here in Organic Gold. It takes a very short period amount of time. Your first 6 months, okay, 2 periods of a 90-day blitz that you actually go on will set up the foundation for a 6-figure a month income. And I can't make any income claims that that's what you're going to earn, but all I can tell you is this: if people that have followed this blueprint and have not hesitated on following it, and actually talked to other people how to do the same thing, they've actually earned millions of dollars here with Organic Gold. You told you about the 50-50 payout that we have here with Organic Gold. Last year, the company doing $47 million in revenue. That means that we paid out close to $25 million in income, okay, to people just like you and I. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I want you guys to understand this WIN formula that we're going to talk about. I want you to start with this. When you talk about W, W means that are you willing? Okay, I want you to write that down. Are you willing? Everybody say willing.
Willing.
Everybody say this: I am willing, to learn.
learn.
We talk about the teachability index, guys. There's something called the teachability index. This is what's going to determine if you're teachable and coachable. All right? And being teachable and coachable is the very first thing that you need to become wealthy. Be teachable and coachable. Now, if I asked you, you're in this room, how many of you are teachable and coachable? Raise your hand. If you're you know for a fact that you're teachable and coachable, you follow very simple instructions. Okay? All of you are raising your hands. But let me prove to you that a large majority of you are not teachable and coachable. The teachability index is the reason, okay, or is the problem solver that you can have that allows you to know if you're really teachable and coachable. The teachability index is this: what is my willingness to learn? What is my willingness to learn the information, okay, times my willingness to change? Did you write that down? What is my willingness to learn the information times my willingness to change? So let me give you a live example that I just gave you about 3 minutes ago. You obviously have a strong willingness to learn because you're still here and it's going on 10 o'clock. Awesome. Give yourself a big hand. That's awesome. But then I said times it by your willingness to change. I said if you're not taking notes, I recommend that you take notes. How many of you were not taking notes before but decided to change and started taking notes? Okay? So if your willingness to learn is at a 10, but your willingness to learn is at a 0, 10 times 0 is 0, you're not teachable and coachable. And if I step on your toes, I mean to. Because somebody had to step on my toes 2 years ago for me to actually get moving. Does that make sense? So if you don't learn this information, you want to have it written down because you actually want to go back and review your notes over and over again so you can know this information, because guess what? You're going to have to teach it one day because the teacher always makes the most money. How many of you know that? It's not the student. You start out as a student and you remain a student, but when you start teaching, that's where the big money really starts coming to play. So you've got to be willing. You've got to be willing to take, you've got to be willing to do what is necessary. I'm going to talk about our 4 steps process that we have. I'm going to talk about a lot of different things that we do, but you're going to have to be willing to do what? You're going to be willing to show up to the opportunity meeting that takes place every Tuesday night. You're going to be willing to show the plan 4 times a week. You've got to be willing to actually prospect 2 to 5 people per day and sample 2 to 5 people. You're going to be willing to learn our 4 steps. You're going to be willing to learn the 4 questions that we have or the coffee sales script. There's a lot of things that you're going to have to be willing to do. That just means that you have a strong desire. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now that I'm going to capitalize the I because the I means 2 things. It means that you take the initiative. Okay? Somebody that wins takes the initiative. You're going to have to learn how to take the initiative. That means you do something before you're told to do it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You take the initiative to actually set up your coffee and jazz mixer when? Tonight. I'm going to talk about how you need to book 4 right away. You take the initiative. You don't wait on it. Procrastination is like suicide, but on a payment plan. Whatever it is that you procrastinated on in your life, it still hasn't come into your life. Does that make sense? So things that you need to do right now, you need to get done right now. What's important now? That's another formula for win. So I've got to be willing, then I've got to take the initiative, but that I also mean I've got to be able to inspire. Everybody say inspire. I've got to be able to inspire myself, and I've also have to have the ability to inspire other people. Winners have the ability to inspire other people. Does that make sense? They inspire them to see themselves bigger than where they are right now. That was my goal for tonight, to inspire you to believe that you are already wealthy. To trick you into believing that yes, you were created to be wealthy. And you can play that trick on your mind, and guess what? Eventually, that trick will become a reality. Because your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not. It only just takes the information that you give it. Words are the seeds for feelings. The words that you say, those thoughts that you have. Okay? Because that's where words come from. They come from your thoughts. And guys, you become what it is that you think about. When you understand that, when you understand that principle, that you have become what it is that you have thought about, life becomes so much easier because now you know that all I need to do is control my thoughts. But for you to control your thoughts, you need to know where thoughts come from. Thoughts come from 3 places. They come from your 5 senses. That's one place that they come from. Every time you see something, it invokes a thought, correct? Every time you taste something, it invokes a thought. Every time you say something, it invokes a thought. Does that make sense? Any of those 5 senses, it invokes thoughts. The second place thoughts come from is the devil. Right? Okay. The third place that it comes from is God. Those are only 3 places that thoughts come from. So you have to address every thought that comes into your mind and say, okay, well, where is this thought coming from? Because this thought will create my life. So I've got to learn how to inspire people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And guys, you're able to inspire based on what you put inside of you. That's why it's called inspire. It's based on what's already inside of you. Your mom told you garbage in, garbage out. She could have said good things in, good things out. Does that make sense, guys? And the end is for you to never, ever, ever quit. Never, ever, ever quit. The journey that you're starting on right now, never, ever, ever quit. I've been involved in this industry of network marketing now for 7 years. July is coming up. July 27, 2004 was the very first time I got involved in this industry of network marketing. I was 21 years old when I got involved. And I was so excited. I'm just as excited as I was 7 years ago as I am today. And I was broke 7 years ago. I was broke 2 years ago. Okay, but I was fired up about life because I saw something that could just possibly, back then it was possibly change everything about my life. Never ever quit. Never ever quit. Ever. Ever. There are going to be ups and downs that come along in this business, but if you understand the principle, if you become what it is you think about, and you understand the factors that actually, govern how you believe, the environment that you're in, the people that you're around, the information that you listen to every single day, and the experiences that you give yourself, all those things govern how you believe. And if you learn these things, guys, I'm telling you, life will take on a completely different meaning than you ever thought in your life. So never ever quit. That's the win formula, guys. 30-day game plan that I want you to implement. Charles, can you help me with this board? Move it out of the way for a second. The 30-day game plan, guys, is for you to execute the 4 steps. Everybody say the 4 steps.
4 steps.
The 4 steps in Organic Gold, guys. I didn't create the 4 steps. Okay? None of us created the 4 steps. The gentleman that created the 4 steps is our VP of Sales, Mr. Holton Buggs. Now, Mr. Holton Buggs had over 20 years of experience in this industry of network marketing. Is it safe to say that he knows what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Okay? This gentleman is absolutely incredible. He's helped several people earn millions of dollars in this industry of network marketing. He's the gentleman that took the time out, spent hours, days, weeks putting these 4 steps together. Our system that we have here in Organic Gold. The very first step, guys, this is part of your 30-day game plan. The first 30 days in Organic Gold, guys, anybody, everybody say anybody. I don't care if you've had success before, you've never done this before, anybody can implement these 4 steps. What's simple to do in life is also simple not to do. These 4 steps, guys, nothing difficult about it, okay? But you're going to have that teachability index, right? The willingness to learn and the willingness to change. The first step, guys, we talk about the 4 steps, is it says that you become the product of the product. Does that make sense? Be a product of the product. What does that mean? That means that you want to submit your testimony. Submit your testimony to your sponsor within your first 48 hours of you actually getting started with Organic Gold. Can everybody do that? Can everybody just write down on a piece of paper or maybe email whatever your testimony was within the first 48 hours? Can everybody do that? Maybe you slept better. Okay? Whatever it is, submit that testimony to your sponsor. If you know that you're sitting in this room right now and you have not done that, I would recommend that you go ahead and do that. I recommend that you do it tonight. Submit that testimony. Now, let me tell you why. Because most human beings, you don't do things because somebody told you to do it. You only do it if you know the why. Why should I do that? Well, guys, understand this. Millions of people are going to get involved in Organic Gold, and millions of people are going to quit Organic Gold. How many of you know that? How many of you know people are going to quit on you? By the way, some of you in this room, you're going to quit. Keeping it real with you. Because life happens. Okay? But guess what, guys? If they have a testimony on what this product has done for them, even if they stop coming to meetings, even if they stop doing 3-way calls, even if they stop doing coffee and jazz mixes, even if they stop building the business, if they have a testimony on what this product has done for them, would they stop drinking this coffee? No. Does that make sense, guys? That's why it's so important for you to make sure that everybody that comes into your group actually gets a testimony within the first, 48 hours. Crucial, guys. Just that alone is millions of dollars to you in your residual income. All right? Now, when you look at this, it also says set yourself up with a proper auto-ship. I want you to understand this. This right here, this circle right here is a clear representation of the amount of money that you're willing to let go. But it's also a clear representation of the amount of money that you're willing to let in. It says set up the proper auto ship. Now, we're in the coffee business, correct?
Yes.
So that means that if you're in the coffee business, that means that you need what? Coffee. So if you don't have any coffee, what does that mean? That you're out of what? Business. So when you get started with us, whether it's the bronze, silver, or the gold pack, my recommendation to you is, off top, set yourself up on at least 6 boxes of coffee just for starters. But within the first 60 to 90 days, you need to be on a case of product every single month. A case of product. You say, well, David, how much is a case of product? Well, a case of product is $450. Okay? $450. Man, Dave, that's a whole lot of money. If you start saying that that's a whole lot of money, it will always be a whole lot of money.
Right.
You got to stop saying that. $450 actually gets you can get a combo case. 15 black, 15 latte. Now, if you look at the rest of our system here, it says that everybody that gets started, as soon as they get started, they need to purchase a box of black and a box of latte, correct? Yeah. So that means that if only 15 people join your business for the whole entire month, through the coffee and jazz mixes that you do, when they purchase their box of black and a box of latte, guess what happens? They give you $30. 30 times 15 is what? $450. So you just got your $450 back. But you say, well, David, I don't want to do that. Okay, well, great. Let's say you're set up on 6 boxes. 90 days goes into the business. 6 months goes into the business. You're set up on 6 boxes of coffee. Fantastic. But let's just say you sponsor a vast grant into your business. For one, it will never happen if you're on 6 boxes of coffee auto ship because you wouldn't even see him. You wouldn't even recognize him. You will not even recognize a Bass grant that can come into your business and in less than 1 year be a diamond consultant, and in less than 2 years be $1 million earner in this company. You won't even recognize it because you're not prepared for it. Does that make sense, guys? Yes. He will never put anything on you that you can't handle. So you can handle a Bass grant on 6 boxes of coffee ownership. Let me paint the picture for you. Bass comes into your business. You're on 6 boxes of coffee ownership. He has his first coffee and jazz mixer. 50 people show up. You got 6 boxes. You already drank 1 box, so you really only have 5 boxes left. And so what you do at your coffee and jazz mixer, instead of giving out samples of coffee, what you do is you go ahead and open it up, and you cut up a sachet, and you walk around and have people smell the coffee. Say, hey, why don't you smell it? Just go ahead and smell the coffee. I mean, you can't drink it. Or better yet, what you'll do is you'll make 3 cups. You'll make a cup of the latte, a cup of the black, and a cup of the mocha, and you have everybody share 1 cup. Go ahead and pass the cup around. Take 1 sip, 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 pass. So y'all get that? Way home. You wouldn't even recognize it, guys. You got to be prepared for an explosion to come into your business. When you're trying to decide if you're going to set up the ownership, guys, how are you going to set up the ownership? There's 4 things you need to look at. 1, you need to look at what is my personal consumption? How much coffee am I going to be drinking every month? If you know you're going to drink all 3 boxes, you probably don't want to be on 3 boxes of coffee ownership. 2 is how much coffee am I going to be sampling? You're going to need to give what? Coffee away to actually acquire what? Customers. So you're going to have to determine how many people per day am I going to sample. Am I sampling 2 people a day? Am I sampling 5 people a day? Whatever that is. Then you're going to have to determine how much coffee am I going to retail. Am I retailing 1 box a day? Am I retailing 1 box a month? Whatever it is. All of our distributors, okay, that actually build this business, following our system, on average have at least 10 customers that actually purchase coffee from them every single month. Minimum. Okay, that purchase at least 2 boxes of coffee from them. All right? So you got to determine that, and then you're also going to have to determine how much coffee am I going to wholesale for the new people that actually get involved in my business. Is it possible to build a business on 6 boxes of coffee ownership?
No.
It's impossible, guys. Okay? It's impossible. Okay? But you got to let go of the broke mentality. When you look at the word mentality, mentality, you got to study words, guys. It's one of the things you need to start doing. Start studying words. Mentality. There's 3 words in here. Men, mental, and mentality. Men. How do you know what men means? Okay. How many of you know what a man is?
Plural. Men.
They're all around you right now. Okay? Man is plural for man. Good deal. How many of you know what mental is? What does mental have to do with? Your mind. The 3rd word in there is tality. Tality is the great reality of your life. The great reality of your life. So that means that if you have a broke mentality, that means that being broke has become the great reality of your life. Does that make sense? So you're going to have to develop a wealth consciousness, guys. You're going to have to develop that. If you're afraid to let money go, that means you're afraid that money will ever come in. If you're afraid to let it go, that means you're afraid that it will never come back. And fear never gives you what it is that you want. Ever.
That's right.
Okay? So make sure you're set up on the right ownership. Make sure everybody is actually purchasing a box of latte. I'm still talking about the 30-day game plan, what it is that you need to do to execute this business within your first 30 days. Also, step number 2 is you want to build a list. Build a list of contacts. You're going to build 2 lists. You're going to build a list of coffee drinkers, and you're going to build a list of potential business partners. People that are looking to get involved in this business. Okay? Now, your coffee drinker list, 50 people, you're going to basically call those individuals and actually use our coffee sales script. We have a coffee sales script, guys. How many of you have seen or used our coffee sales script? Absolutely incredible. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I built my list and John was on my list. John was a coffee drinker. I'm going to call up John. I'm going to say, hey, John, listen, I just launched my own healthy beverage company, and I launched it with 3 flavors of healthy coffee. I really need your help. I would love for you to be one of my first preferred customers, by purchasing a box of coffee from me. If you like the coffee, I'll show you how you can get it wholesale. If you don't like it, I'll never ask you to buy anything from my company again. Can I count on you? How many of you can do that? See, the reason why this works in our company is because those 50 people on that list, we know they already utilize our product. Does that make sense? Most other companies, we have to introduce you to the product. Say, hey, have you ever heard of this? You're not calling anybody and saying, hey, have you ever heard of coffee? And for some of you say, well, I don't drink coffee. Well, why do you have a coffee table in your house? Well, I don't drink coffee. Why do you have coffee mugs? If you don't drink coffee, why do you even have coffee in your house? Because you know people come by and they want coffee. Okay? So you've got to make sure you build your list of coffee drinkers. Also build your list of potential business partners. Now, there's two ways that you actually categorize your list. Okay? Now, when you're dealing with your warm market, you can categorize your list with what we call the 4 checkers. Okay? That's on the cash cow CD, and you need to purchase one of those. Get one of those from your Upline, Ruby, Emerald, or Diamond. A cash cow CD. It talks about the 4 checkers. Okay? Is this person a self-starter? Is this person teachable and coachable? Does this person have the means to get started in this business right away? Does this person have a set of influence? Those are some things that you need to look for when you're building your list of potential business partners, that you're going to do what we call the ITS. Invite, taste, and share. That's what we call that. The invite, taste, and share process. Another way that you can categorize your list is through what I call the 5 pointers. Okay? 1, is this person 25 and older? Okay? Me personally, I do not prospect people that are younger than 25. I do not talk about this business. Because I know just younger than that, you're probably just not thinking about becoming wealthy. Most people are not thinking about that. Now, I was a little different. Baz Grant was a little different. Okay? But most young, no, it's probably not a priority for them right now. And I know that from experience. Okay? Club, auto shit. Club wins. Does that make sense? But somebody that's 25 and older, somebody that's married, somebody that's got some kids, they own a home, right? They make it from $40,000 to $80,000 a year. They know they need this business. Does that make sense? They're going to make the necessary sacrifices because they have something to lose. So when you're building your list, you're categorizing your list. You're doing the ITS, invite, taste, and share. Now, where are you taking these people to? You're taking them to step number 3, which is the what? Coffee and jazz mixers. Now you say, well, David, what do I say to these people? Well, it's very simple. We have what we call our 4 questions. All right, how many of you heard our 4 questions before? The 4 questions, guys, very simple. Do you, anybody you know, drink coffee or tea at least on occasion? They're going to say yes every single time, because I didn't ask you if you drink coffee. I said, do you or anybody you know drink coffee or tea at least on occasion? It's very important that you ask it that very specific way. Well, if you do drink coffee, how do you normally drink it? Do you drink it black or with cream or sugar? Well, I drink it with cream and sugar. Fantastic. Well, what brand of coffee do you drink? Is it Folgers? Is it Maxwell House? Is it Starbucks? They say Starbucks. Okay, great. When was the last time Starbucks paid your commission for drinking their coffee or sharing with anybody else? Never. Well, let me introduce you to the coffee that pays. Okay? You say, okay, well, what is this all about? What is this project all about? What are the power phrases that I've used for the last 2 years? It's a very, very simple question. Okay? I'm going to ask the question to you right now. Knowing what you know now about Starbucks, if you had the ability to invest in Starbucks 10 years ago, how many of you would have done it? You would have done it, without a shadow of doubt. Well, listen, I found something bigger than Starbucks. And I'm going to be having a coffee and jazz mix at my home Thursday at 7 o'clock. You need to be there. How many of you can say that? Very simple. Okay? Now, you got to leave here tonight. Remember the WIN formula. You got to be willing. You got to take the initiative. Leaders, you got to be able to inspire and never quit. Never quit doing these 4 steps. Over and over and over again. Somebody comes in, you take them through the 30-day game plan for them to execute these 4 steps. Step number 3 says what? Look for coffee and jazz mixes. How many?
4.
How many?
4.
Not 2, not 1, not 3, but how many?
4.
In-home meetings where you invite people over so they can taste the product and you're going to share the opportunity with them. We've got tools that we use, the new gold standard DVD. We now have this particular PowerPoint on DVD. How many of you can click and read? Do you guys notice that's all we did tonight? We would look back, look at the board, read it, and then talk to y'all, right? That's all we did. How many of you can learn how to do that? Guys, I've been saying the same thing for the last 2 years. Can you believe that? I know some of you saw my presentation for the first time. Just talk to somebody that's seen my presentation at least 3, 4, 5 times. I say the same thing. No, guys, it's not a joke. I say the same jokes at the same time.
That's right, come on.
I've been doing this for 2 years. I started off doing it in people's homes. For 2, 3 people saying the same jokes. If I did the first part, I would have cracked I was 300 pounds 3 years ago. Now I started drinking this coffee. Look at me today. I've been saying that same joke. Come on. I mean, is life that simple to say the same thing all the time? Yeah. Isn't that something? How many of you like to just say the same thing? I mean, that's your job description, to say the same thing. 4 times a week. How many of you can do that? How many of you can say the same thing 4 times a week and earn millions of dollars? I mean, I don't want you to change anything. Guys, here's the deal. As soon as I saw somebody sign up with me saying what it is that I said, I never changed it. If it worked for them, oh, it's going to work for thousands. The same thing. So when I say go do the coffee and jazz mixes, I'm not saying go sign up the world. I'm saying go say the same thing. So one day you sound good saying the same thing. Doesn't that sound good? You're supposed to say yeah. Thank you. Right? Guys, it's about doing it. If you do it, the power will appear. It's not going to happen by osmosis. The person you are today is not the person you're going to be a year from now. Does that make sense? The person I am today is not the person I will be a year from now. The person I was a year ago. A human need is to grow. That's a human need. You have to grow. You have to get better. Okay, I get good at this presentation, I make a lot of money. How simple is that?
It gets easier, doesn't it?
It's like subconscious. You don't even have to think about it anymore. Because you've done it over and over and over again. So when you're taking people through this 30-day game plan, and you're now setting up their coffee and jazz mixes, when you go in to do that mixer, you're not doing it because that person has 50 people in the home. I've done lots of mixes where nobody showed up. I've done mixes with 1 person showing up. I've done mixes with 2 people showing up. But I kept doing it over and over again, kept saying the same thing over and over again. Now when I go into cities, it's 5, 6, 7, it's going to be over 1,000 people in New York. And guess what I'm going to do on Thursday? The same thing. Catch a flight, go to New York, I'm going to say the same thing. And they're going to laugh. And they're going to join. Because that's what people do. People join. That's why I tell people, we don't really care about you joining this business. We don't care about you joining anything. We care about your success. That's why it's important that you stay for this training so you know what it is that I need to do within my first 30 days to be successful in this business. I didn't ask anything about money. I said go show the plan 4 times a week. The more attractive that you become, the more income you earn. The more attractive that you become in this business, the more income you earn. The better you become, the more income you earn. It's that simple. It is that simple. Okay? So book 4 coffee and jazz mixes and do it. Do it over and over again. Step 4 is you plug into our proven system for 18 months. For 18 months, you plug into our proven system. We've got conference calls that we do every day. We've got opportunity meetings that we have every week. We have trainings that we do every Saturday. We've got our big events that we do. We got a VIP Super Saturday that's coming up, guys. In September. The George R. Brown in Houston, Texas. I'm going to put it in your ear now. How many of you were in Dallas, Texas at Project 50,000? So you already know, being that you were there in Dallas, you already know what's going to happen in Houston.
Yes.
Orlando will have more diamonds walk across that stage.
Right.
Watch this, guys. There'll be more diamonds that walk across that stage
Right.
than the amount of diamonds that have walked across the stage all year. Say it again. Because see, when you put
Yes.
yourself in that number, see, it's a different meaning. It's a different meaning. If you knew that you were going to be a diamond
Yes.
and you were going to walk across that stage in September, and I said that there will be more diamonds walking across the stage in September than has been all year long.
Well, come on.
That's right.
No, let me share something with you. Let me share something with you. I'm talking about how you were already created. I'm not talking. This is not some pie in the sky stuff.
That's
I know
right.
how your brain works. You know, I know that. I know how it works. Because you don't hear diamond, because you don't hear yourself calling yourself a diamond all day, every day,
Come on.
when somebody says you're a diamond, your body does not respond. Let me help you. Whatever your name is, if I called you by your name, you would respond.
Right.
The reason why is because you hear your name every day. You're aware of your name. So when I say diamond,
Yes. Yes.
that's how it's got to be. Before it happens.
What you want?
Before it happens. Not, oh, well, I'll get it after. No, you have to get it before it happens. Money has to be in your hands before you get the money.
Right.
Guys, if you operate based on what it is that you see, you will only get what it is that you see. You cannot operate on what it is that you see. You cannot do that.
Substance of things.
You cannot do that.
Evidence of things not seen.
You cannot live your whole entire life doing that, guys. I'm telling you, stop it. Guys, put pictures of where it is that you want to go,
Yes.
who it is that you will be, all around you.
All of it.
Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You got to do that. If you walked into my place right now, you would think I was crazy. I've got pictures everywhere. I've got a picture of a home that's got 8.3 bathrooms. I don't know what the point 3 is, but I look forward to finding out. I don't know what it is, but I look forward to living in it. 8.3 bathrooms. I don't know. I've houses all around, but they're on the beach though. Consciously and subconsciously, my mind is picking up on those images. You will only become what it is that you think about. So if you think about houses on the beach, you will become the house on the beach.
Hello.
It's called success parameters. But if you leave out of here, let me share with you why a lot of people leave meetings like this. While you're here, pumped up, ready to go, because you're in the right environment. This environment is conducive for belief. But when you walk out that door
Yes.
and you get into your car, that belief just starts to feel a little different because, see, the environment has changed. Because you're in the car you don't want. I know this. I always try to figure out why do people do anything that they do because like this? It's because you went back to the environment that you just came from. If you came to Project 2000 and that emotion that you had, if you left there with that, you would already went down.
That's right.
But something happened. When you get in your car, don't see your car. Go get a picture of the car you want in your car. Go get a picture of the car you want and put it in your garage. So every time you go into your garage, you don't see your car. You see the car that you want. sense? For anything. The cash cow says it. You don't get what you want out of life, you get what you picture. Well, duh. If I don't get what I want, and I get what I picture, well, let me go get some pictures of what I want. Plug into our system for 18 months. That's a 30-day game plan, guys. Teaching everybody to do that. Anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. Now, here's the 90-day game plan. Here's where the rubber meets the road. Here's what you need to do. Here's the main ingredient for the 90-day game plan. Yes, please. 90-day game plan. Every single real big guy over there. I'm trying to move out your way, man. That's what I'm trying to do. All right. 90-day game plan, guys. 90-day game plan is 60 to 90 days into the business. Everybody say 60 to 90 days.
60 to 90 days.
Into my Organo business.
Into my Organo business.
I will be showing the plan.
I will be showing the plan
4 times a week.
4 times a week.
90 days, 60 to 90 days into this business, you need to be showing the plan 4 CJMs a week. That means that you need to have what we call a calendar. A calendar. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm going over our system on how we show anybody that has a strong desire, that is willing, that is going to take the initiative, that will never quit, that will develop the skills that are necessary for them to just earn $1,000 a week. That's what we're talking about. 90 days into the business, with you showing the plan 4 times a week, you would have developed the skills necessary. Everybody say necessary.
Necessary.
Not I'm going to try. I don't need you to try. Well, I'm going to try it out. No. Try to keep your money in your pocket. Don't try nothing. Do it. Trying means that it's never happened. That means it's never happened before. But it's happening right now. Alright? So you gotta make sure 90 days into the business. Now guys, understand as leaders, you gotta understand this. You gotta know this. I said that you need to know this so you can teach it. Because if you got more people showing the plan 4 times a week, you'll be earning more money. 90 days into the business. So you got Sunday, you got Monday, you got Tuesday, you got Wednesday, you got Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You got to look and say, okay, I'm going to have my calendar. I'm going to plan out my life first. Whatever is most important to me, I'm going to plan that out first. Whether it's the spiritual life that you have or your family life, you go ahead and plan that in there first. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Then you go and say, well, I'm going to allocate 4 days out of the week that I'm going to show the plan. So I've got to ask myself, I'm going to put a circle right here. This identifies that I'm willing to show the plan Sunday at 6 p.m. every Sunday. How many of you are free Sunday nights at 6 p.m. to show the plan? Boom, you put that in there. I've got a CJM. You say, well, David, I don't have a person to do it with. Don't worry, expectation. See, I'm expecting that to happen. I'm expecting to be in somebody's home. I will only get what it is that I expect. Expectation is everything for your business. I've got to expect great things happening. Expectation is kind of like the night before Christmas. It's more exciting than Christmas. Let me help you. If I told you that 6 months from now I would deposit $1 million in your account, how would the next 6 months of your life be? How excited would you be about life? What would bother you? Nothing. Why? Because you're expecting something to happen 6 months from now. And you'll be counting down. Does that make sense? So you put that in there. You know that every Tuesday there's a weekly meeting that's going to be taking place. So you're plugged into our system. So you're going to be at the weekly meeting that takes place every Tuesday. Let's say you skip Monday. But 90 days into the business, you should already know how to operate our PS3, which is peak interest, show the plan, and do a 3-way call. So every single day, you should be doing the PS3 with at least 2 to 5 people per day. You're piquing people's interest with the 4 questions. You're showing them the plan with a conference call, maybe a coffee and jazz mixer, or an online presentation, and then you're doing a 3-way call to validate what it is that guest already saw. So you got Tuesday, you're at the weekly meeting. Why isn't the weekly meeting like this every Tuesday? You know, if it's like this every Tuesday, do you know what it will be like when the next time I come back? It'll be over 1,000. What do you think it will be like when Mr. Bugs comes? It'll be over 2,000. Does that make sense? Yes. So you say, okay, Wednesday, can I do a coffee and jazz mix on Wednesday? Let's just say that's your church night. You can't do a mixer on Wednesday. Can you do a mixer on Thursday? Can you do that? 7 p.m., CJM. So I've got a CJM set up for Sunday. I've got my weekly meeting on Tuesday. I've got a CJM set up for Thursday. And Saturday, if I'm not working on Saturday, can I do 2 CJMs on Saturday? Can I do one at 2? And can I do one at 6?
Come on.
And say the same thing 4 times a week. You say the same thing on Sunday. You hear the same thing on Tuesday. Take notes, get better. Go say the same thing on Thursday. And then go say the same thing twice on Saturday and get rich. And you teach, guys, 90 days into the business, as you go into the 6-month game plan, you're going to teach 1 to 2 people per month that are going to show the plan 4 times a week. Develop 1 to 2 leaders that you're going to sit down and go over this calendar with them, and they're going to be committed to show the plan. This is how Barry's man went down there. He has some people showing the plan 4 times a week. Be honest. Stand up if you're showing the plan 4 times a week right now. Be honest. You're showing the plan 4 times a week right now. You're in Tampa, and you know you show the plan at least 4 times a week. Watch this. That's 1, 2. Besides that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? 6. 6. Okay? Now watch this. I think about 4 or 5 of them are in Vast Grants organization. So only 5 people showing the plan 4 times a week. Okay? I know 10, maybe, in a total organization showing the plan 4 times a week equals diamond. Did y'all get that? Yep. If you only have 10 people on your team showing the plan 4 times a week, diamond. That will never happen. You can sit down. That will never happen until you do it. Does that make sense? Until you do it. Because you can't teach something that you're not doing. Guys, teaching motivates you to live it. When you teach something, when you learn something, right? And then you go teach it. You do it and then you go teach it, right? It motivates you to live it. So I know these individuals, they know exactly what it is I'm talking about right now. So 90 days into the business, this is what you're doing. This is the 90-day game plan. And guys, with you doing this consistently over time, you will develop the skills to just earn $8,000 a week of income. Why is this so important to your income? Well, let's just say you only have 10 people showing the plan 4 times a week. And they're earning $1,000 a week. Well, for them to earn $1,000, that means that they had to do 5,000 CD, right? Because 20% of 5,000 is what? 1,000. Is what?
1,000.
Okay? Stay with me. Can you do that? Can you stay with me on this? The reason why they're able to earn $1,000 is because they have 5,000 CD go through on their what? Pay side. Does that make sense? So that's $1,000. So let's say we got 10 people doing it now. 10 times 5,000 is what? It's 50,000. 20% of 50,000 is what? $10,000 for the week.
Yes. Wow. Yes. Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
We're not going to say nothing, but is that...
Absolutely.
Come on.
It's actually poor.
Yeah. But that would never happen if Bass Grant wasn't willing to go show the plan and say the same thing 4 times a week and develop 1 to 2 people per month to do the same thing. Y'all get this?
Yes.
All right, well, we're about to close out. 6-month game plan. 6-month game plan. We've got a calendar that's coming out, okay, that lays out everything, okay, and shows you how to operate the calendar. I just went through some basics with you. The 6-month game plan, guys, is this. 20/20 vision. Everybody say that.
20/20 vision.
Say it like you believe in something.
20/20 vision.
Y'all going to sleep.
No, we're not. Wait.
How many are ready to get rich? You know rich people don't sleep? You know why they don't sleep? They too busy getting rich. Think about it. If you was getting rich, would you go to sleep? You stay up all night just... If money was coming in, every time you want to wait, you just be like this. Let me get the Cafe Supreme badge. Let me get the Cafe Supreme. 20/20 vision, guys. Listen to this. This is what you got to do. You got to put 20 people on your left. You got to put 20 people on your right that you personally enroll. Personally enroll 20 on your left, 20 on your right. And guys, you got to do this in a 6-month time frame. Our number 1 income earner did this in 90 days. You know Jose Adon's only sponsored about 50 people into his business? Has over 20-some thousand people in his group now. Doing over $2 million in volume per month. Y'all know what $2 million volume is? And it's a 30% rule on that one too. That means you can't count no more than 30% from one particular leg. That means you can't count no more than 600,000 from one leg of business. That means you got to do 1.4 million outside of your big leg to be a crown. He's the only crown in the company right now. He's the only one that implemented the 6-month game plan in 90 days. 20 on your left, 20 on your right. There was a young lady that just got involved in the business. She went emerald her first 6 days. Wow. She put over 40 people in the business her first week. Why you were sleeping? Put 20 on your left, put 20 on your right. Now, here's the deal. All of them have to come in at least in the 199 and above, and they have to be on auto ship, and you must take them through the 30-day game plan, our 4-step system. Does this make sense? Yes. Here's what's going to happen. 6 to 8 of these people are going to quit the business. Everybody said they're going to quit. They're going to quit. They're going to quit. And guys, when they quit, help them along and help them quit. I don't stop nobody from quitting. You want to quit, honey? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Get them out of there. Why are you trying to stop somebody? God, listen, don't beg anybody to get rich. You want to quit on your goals and your dreams? Fantastic. You want to go for your goals and your dreams? Fantastic. Either way, it's fantastic. Here's another deal. 6 to 8 of these people are going to incubate. Everybody say that.
Incubate.
Incubate. What does that mean? They're going to do nothing. No, they might do a little something. They might do nothing. They're the mic people. I might go to the event. I might show the plan. I might be on auto ship. I might come to a weekly meeting. I might. Don't count on the mic people. Then we're going to have people that are going to what? No. You're going to have people that build it big. Out of of the 6 to 8 that build it big, guys, you're going to identify 1 to 2 superstars. Those are the ones that are going to be running 150 miles an hour. Those are going to be your diamonds. You ready for that? 6 to 8 are going to quit. Guys, so what does this mean? That means that 30 days into the deal, stop complaining if you're, stop saying my team isn't doing anything. You ain't got a team. Maybe I can just get it moving a little faster. You don't have a team yet. We said you need to put 20 on your left, 20 on your right in 6 months. So if you've only sponsored 20 in 90 days, or sponsored 10 in 90 days, don't complain about the 10. Go get another 30. You spend so much energy complaining, right? Stop doing that. Stop complaining. So 6 months into the business, this is what you're going to do. Guys, with this happening in your organization, 20/20 vision, and you complete this in 6 months, there's no guarantees of income. But just, I can tell you from personal experience, from what it is that I've experienced and what it is that I've seen, this is what you're going to be earning 6 months into the business. At least $20,000 a month. Now, the reason why you didn't respond is because you don't hear $20,000 a month all the time. Your brain hasn't heard it over and over again. So when it happened, you were just like,
I'm snapping a picture.
no, it has to happen the first time, guys. I'm not going to be, guys, listen, I'm not going to be there in your car when you leave here tonight. I'm not going to be at your home. You're going to have to learn how to trigger your success. You can't say crown and I don't turn around. Can't. You can't. My body somehow, some way will respond when you say crown. It's just gonna respond. One way or another. Why? Well, let's see. On my phone, I see a crown every day. I told you in Dallas, this is the picture I had on my phone. $1 million ring. It was my screensaver. That's not my screensaver anymore. Now, it's a crown. Okay. I see this every day. Somebody gonna have to give me a crown. My name is already David. However you want to trigger it, do it. Like for Black Diamond, I was telling people, well, I am black. I've been Black Diamond.
All right. Yeah. Makes sense.
It does. I know it does. How many of you can follow that? 30? I mean, you can draw a line in the sand right now and do it. I don't care if you've been involved in the business 6 weeks, 6 years, it doesn't matter. We ain't been around 6 years, but it doesn't matter. Draw a line in the sand and say, okay, I'm going to implement these 30-day game plan. Okay, I'm going to go do my 4 coffee and jazz mixes. I'm going to set up the right auto-ship. I'm going to make sure I'm at the weekend meeting. I'm plugged into the conference call. I'm plugged into what it is we're doing. I'm going to do it. I'm going to set up 4 mixes in my home. And I don't care if nobody shows up. Talk to the couch. Practice. So guess what, guys? You do that so when you get on stage, you can inspire somebody in the back and say, guys, I used to do mixers in my home to my couch. Now I'm standing on stage. There's 10,000 people yelling my name. You can do it too. That's why you do it. Anything you do in this business, always operate with the end in mind. When I did those mixers with 2 people showing up, I was operating with the end in mind. That one day 2,000 people would show up. That one day 5,000 people would show up. That one day 10,000 people would show up. That one day 20,000 people would show up. Why? Because I experienced a young man years ago, Bass Grant, seeing him talk to 18,000 people. If Bass Grant can do it, then I can do it too. This thing works, guys. And when I say this thing works, I'm talking about you. You work. You just have to start believing that. So when you leave out of here today, go find pictures. Don't go into your home without putting pictures up. It's going to drain you, especially if you don't like your home. Okay? The win formula, guys, you got to be willing. Take the initiative. Never, ever, ever, ever quit. Give it up for yourself one more time, guys.
Good job, brother. As always.
Hey, real quick. Hey guys, I got to give anybody that actually got involved in the business tonight.